Out of nowhere, the biggest scare from that Jets game turned into a reason to breathe again. Kyle Hamilton walked off limping. It looked serious, and suddenly the news drops that he might actually play on Thanksgiving. And when that comes right after a monster performance from him in a smooth, low-stress win, the entire vibe of the week shifts instantly, and the timing couldn't be better. Hamilton is in the middle of the best stretch of his season. He just signed the biggest contract ever for an NFL safety, and now he might be back in a game where Joe Burrow is also returning. Everything feels more urgent, more electric. And every detail around this matchup makes it clear that Thursday is about to get intense. What happened with Kyle Hamilton at the end of the Jets game had a lot of people nervous. He came out with an ankle injury, and anytime a player this important feels something like that, everyone immediately gets worried. But this time, the update brought relief. The injury wasn't considered serious. That alone changes the entire mood, because when the chances of losing a key starter drop, the team breathes differently. And John Harbaugh didn't waste any time calming the situation. He said Hamilton has a chance to play on Thanksgiving, and when a coach says it this early in the week, it usually means things are better than they looked. It's almost like he's saying, relax, don't panic yet. He might be out there. And honestly, just hearing that already takes a big part of the tension away. Hamilton's impact is what makes this update feel so important. He's the kind of player who changes how the entire defense operates, always in the right spot, always influencing the play. The idea of having him back on Thursday instantly shifts energy. It's like getting a crucial piece back on the chessboard at the perfect moment, especially in a week where the next game comes fast. And because this short week adds a whole new layer of urgency, this possibility changes the way Baltimore steps into the next matchup. The win over the Jets allowed the team to save energy, and now, with Hamilton possibly playing, the entire picture feels different. That sets the stage perfectly for the next point. The win over the Jets was exactly the kind of game Baltimore needed before such a tight stretch in the schedule. The team controlled everything from start to finish. No scares, no extra stress, no unnecessary effort. When a game flows that smoothly, the whole environment shifts. Players stay fresh, coaches breathe easier, and the focus can jump to the next game without hesitation. That 23-10 win wasn't just comfortable, it was efficient. Baltimore took the lead, managed the clock, and kept the Jets from threatening at any point. And with the season getting more physical and demanding each week, winning with that level of ease helps keep the roster healthy and in rhythm. That matters a lot during a short week. At the same time, this win marks the team's fifth straight victory, and that carries real weight inside a locker room. A streak like this builds confidence, reinforces identity, and puts Baltimore in a much stronger mental space. It's not just about winning. It's about how the team is winning, setting the tone, controlling every phase, and coming out without unnecessary wear and tear. That's the kind of momentum that makes you feel like the team is on the right track. And when you combine this momentum with the possibility of having Kyle Hamilton available again on Thursday, things start lining up in a pretty interesting way. But this whole picture only makes sense when you consider the level Hamilton is playing at, which leads directly into the next topic. What Hamilton did against the Jets is exactly why his presence matters so much. He finished with 10 tackles, his season high, and played with a level of consistency that jumps off the screen. When a defensive player reaches that level, it's clear he's reading the game faster than the offense can react. That's rare. Those numbers don't just show up out of nowhere. They reflect a pattern he's been building all season. He's up to 69 combined tackles, 38 solo, and 2 forced fumbles, proving he's everywhere, always anticipating plays and making immediate impact. He's the type of player you don't even need a stat sheet to evaluate. Just look at the field. He's always in the picture, and the most impressive part is how consistent all of this has been. It's not a random great game. It's not a one-off performance. It's a stretch that shows maturity, fast processing, and total confidence. Players like that change the way a defense plays. They allow coordinators to get more aggressive, give teammates more security, and create opportunities that don't exist with an average player. With a stretch this strong, it's easy to see why the franchise went all in on him this offseason. And that investment says a lot about how Baltimore sees the future, which is exactly what the next topic highlights.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
That 4-year, $100.4 million deal isn't just a big number. It says everything the organization thinks about Hamilton. It's the largest contract ever given to a safety in NFL history. And teams don't hand out something like that unless they're absolutely convinced. When a franchise pays that much, they're saying that player is a cornerstone of their future. And this becomes even clearer when you look at the impact he already has on the field. The contract doesn't just project what he might become. It rewards what he already is. Dominant, versatile, and irreplaceable. The Ravens' defense looks one way with him and a completely different way without him. And the front office knows that better than anyone. At the same time, this investment shows that Baltimore is thinking bigger. They're not just building a competitive roster for right now. They're building one that can stay at a high level for years. Choosing Hamilton as one of the pillars of that structure says everything about what kind of defense they want to continue being: physical, aggressive, and smart. And all of this feels even more important when you look at what's coming next. Baltimore is entering a stretch where every game gets heavier, and having the full roster available becomes essential. Harbaugh's mindset reflects that perfectly, which connects directly to the next point. Even with the winning streak, Harbaugh made it clear that no one in the building can relax. When he says the season isn't over, he's not saying it just to fill space. He's reminding everyone that the intensity only ramps up from here. That type of message is what keeps a team locked in, especially heading into the final stretch before the playoffs. He knows the team is playing well, but he also understands the danger of slipping into comfort. With the schedule tightening and the physical demands rising, even one misstep can cost a lot. His message sounds simple, but it carries real weight. Winning isn't just about talent. It's about staying sharp. And that focus gets tested immediately against the Bengals. It doesn't matter how many games Cincinnati has dropped lately. Joe Burrow's return changes everything. A quarterback at his level always puts pressure on the opposing defense. And Harbaugh knows this is a kind of matchup where small details decide everything. That's why Hamilton's potential return matters even more. It's not just a player coming back. It's a central piece returning right when the opposing offense regains its star. And this mix of urgency, confidence, and expectation sets up the perfect energy for what comes next. So there it is. After a smooth win over the Jets, a defense that keeps rising, and a Kyle Hamilton playing the best football this season, the possibility of him suiting up on Thanksgiving completely changes the tone heading into this matchup. The team's confidence, the impact he brings to the system, and Joe Burrow returning on the other side create a situation where every detail matters. And having Hamilton on the field makes everything even more interesting. Now I want to hear from you. With this update, do you think the Ravens roll into this game even stronger against the Bengals? Because with the way things are lining up, this matchup has a real chance to become a turning point in the season, and Baltimore walks into it with momentum, energy, and possibly their most explosive defensive player back on the field. Let's see how it plays out.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.